welcome to the Scotty V Podcast, episode 14. I can't believe we're in episode 14. In this episode, I'm going to be breaking down the 14 MCU post-Endgame movies, and I'm going to rank them. So remember, this is my list. I can't miss. It's the perfect list you're going to get out there. Just kidding. It's my opinion. But I want to hear your thoughts after you watch my video. So before we get on to the video, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Wherever you're watching, do that. I really appreciate it. Share this video around. I want this podcast to be big. So let's start with it at number 14. So I'm going to be 14 to number 1. If you know me personally, you already know what my number 1 is going to be. But here we go. So with number 14, we have The Eternals. God-awful movie. I hate it from beginning to end. A lot of things in this movie, they were pretty cool. Like they introduced a new island, which ended up being adamantium. Spoiler alert. But the characters, Cersei and the Speed character and all this kind of crap, I didn't care about. If they trickled these characters throughout the MCU, like if they put like Angelina Jolie's character in this film and put Cersei in this film, maybe I would have a connection with these characters. But the direction of this film was god awful. It was long, and there was things in this project that, if you know me personally, I can't stand. Nothing against it, just I don't like it, and I don't want things like that in movies. But anyways, The Eternals, the visual effects were alright. It's just not my favorite. So yeah, number 3. A lot of people are like, "What the hell? This movie's not at the bottom." Number 13 is Thor: Love and Thunder. I was excited for this film. We got Christian Bale as God the Gore Butcher. He came from Batman and American Psycho, so yeah, he could play a great villain. Even a hero, because Batman, he was Batman. Just totally waste of a character for Christian Bale, Gore the God Butcher. The CGI was pretty awful. The screaming goats was horrible. Like, why? We don't need that crap. Jane Foster's Thor was wasted. I understand it was her cancer storyline, and every time she picked up the hammer, she got more sicker and sicker. Whatever, what a waste of potential. And you can tell Taika Waititi did not want to do this film. Like, he was tapped out. Like, I don't want to make no more Marvel movies. Like, Thor Ragnarok was great, one and done, but I don't want to do it. He just did it because the money was good, and I'm pretty sure he was broke. So yeah, totally wasted. But the cool thing about Thor: Love and Thunder was the black and white scene. It was awesome. That was pretty cool. Gore the God Butcher wasn't scary at all. Shadow creatures. I was so disappointed. This movie could have had potential. We got introduced to Zeus and Hercules, and you just put Hercules at the end and you make Zeus a joke? Like, come on. Like, whatever. That's Thor: Love and Thunder for you. The next up we have is Ant-Man Quantumania. I was excited for this film when it was announced and what it was going to be like in 2013, but this movie had horrible CGI. They destroyed, like, they defeated Kang so quickly. Like, it just didn't make sense. Like, they had to go in the quantum realm to stop Kang, and Kang knew all the other Avengers, but he didn't know him. His daughter wanted to be the next step, and whatever. It just, you could tell, and like, the actors didn't want to be in it except for Paul Rudd, and Evangeline Lilly just kind of retired after the flop of this film, which I understand Kang was actually going to be the next big bad with all the introduction of Loki and all that. But because this movie failed and because of the troubles that Jonathan Majors actually got into with the law, they stopped that. They're like, no way, Jose, we're going to stop this. Kang the Conqueror is not resonating through with the audiences like how Thanos did. You can't just throw a main villain there and expect people to be engaged. Like, they're doing that with Doctor Doom, and I can understand. Doctor Doom is already a big and established character that was introduced in the 60s. Kang came around 70s, 80s, I think. I'm not too sure, but someone correct me on that. But yeah, so because of this movie, they actually halted the whole multiverse Kang story, and they ended up changing Kang Dynasty to Doomsday, and they just kept Secret Wars because it's Secret Wars. Anyways, now this movie wasn't so bad, but a lot of people didn't like it, and since the first movie, Captain Marvel, got $1 billion, we all expected maybe the Marvels would be another $1 billion hit since it's been post-COVID area. But yeah, the Marvels was alright. All female cast, yeah, whatever. I really don't care who leads the movie. Just the story they were trying to execute was not good. The only thing I really enjoyed about this movie was actually the post-credit scene. How we got to see Beast again, and we got a new character introduced to us, which is Binary, which I never heard of this character, and I like the X-Men, and I like Spider-Man and all those kind of comics, I've never heard of this character, and I don't think we need this character. I know it's a different reality. Now, I don't know if this is the same universe as the Deadpool Wolverine universe. Maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, Marvel's not that great. Next up, the Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Very heartfelt film. Very sad because of the passing of Chadwick. So it's kind of Ryan Coogler and MCU Marvel guys had a lot to live up to. Now, it's not the. Is it better than the first film? No way. No way. But the opening of this scene of this movie actually was very emotional. I don't cry in movies too often, but this one made me cry because I really liked Chadwick Boseman as an actor and as a human being because he was great. He was a great guy. You could tell. I don't know how he was in his personal life and how he was behind closed doors, but from what we could see, he was actually a great role model to a lot of people. It was just pretty sad, and this movie actually leaned on that. And his character in the T'Challa actually had the same fate he did in real life, but obviously didn't show on screen because he can't. Next up, now this movie came out a little too late, like 6 years too late, or 5 years too late. Whenever the Civil War came out, 2016, is Black Widow. Now we got the introduction of the Red Guardian. We got Yelena, the new Black Widow, but she's technically called the White Widow. Great action, but the problem with this movie is it's a great movie. It's a fun movie, action-packed movie. Taskmaster was a disappointment. They used Taskmaster as Dreykov's daughter, which, whatever. It is what it is. But like I said, this movie came out late, way too late. Should have came out in between Civil War and Black Panther. If they had like 4 movies that year, it would have been fine. We were all Marvel hungry back in the day, right? But anyways, this movie just came out too late. Nothing wrong with this film. Anyways, what we have for number 8 is Captain America: Brave New World. I was excited for this film. They showed too much in the trailers, obviously, with the Red Hulk. And if you can see my review, I had the Hulk hands, and I was playing with the Hulk hands. But yeah, the action was all right for the most part of that. The story was lacking because they were trying to do Winter Soldier and a whole bunch of political thriller. And the leader was such a disappointment. The concept art that we got from the leader and what we got in the final product, like, whose decision was that? That was horrible. Like, the original design with his big head was better instead of his head being all like brain, whatever it was. But anyways, the Hulk CGI, the Red Hulk was amazing. They took their time with that, and I'm glad they did because now I want to see Red Hulk versus the normal Hulk. And yeah, it was more of a Hulk storyline than it was Captain America storyline. Like, they could have just got the Hulk and be like, Captain America, Sam Wilkins, hey, Bruce, I kind of need you. But that wasn't the case. Anyways, next up, we have Shang-Chi. It was pretty good. Simu Liu did a great job as playing Shang-Chi. The Legend of the Ten Rings, we got more of the backstory of the Ten Rings. We figured out what happened to Trevor. The real Mandarin was pissed off with Trevor and actually imprisoned him. I think at one point they were going to kill him, but they actually just kept him because he was a performer. So if they needed a show, they would have just called him. But yeah, the CGI was great. The big fight with the dragons at the end, and the monsters, it was pretty good, and I was pretty happy with that. All right, so number 6, we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I was disappointed with this film just a little bit. We got little hints of Spider-Man here and there, but we got American Chavez introduced and Wanda turning bad. So she wanted American Chavez because Wanda wanted to find her children, Tommy and Billy, in another universe and have cures and all that. But at the end of the day, Scarlet Witch was the bad guy, and Doctor Strange had to fight demons and had to find the Book of Shivanti and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, the CG was great. Sam Raimi's directing, as for horror, no problem. Like, the first movie was directed by Scott Dixon or Derrickson, I don't remember his name, but Sam Raimi did good with his close up. We got Bruce Campbell showing up. It was called the Multiverse of Madness, but they only traveled to like 2 multiverses, and just like when they were going through the universe, when Doctor Strange was trying to save American Chavez, they went through different universes, like the water universe, paint universe, and a cartoon, prehistoric. Like, that was pretty cool. I didn't even know how much exactly they went through. They went through a cartoon, and they went through one where the Americans lost World War II. It was pretty cool. The fight between the 2 Doctor Stranges in the Sanctum with the music notes was also pretty cool. So yeah. Anyways, next up for number 5, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So this was the end of an era. James Gunn's final movie for the MCU before he went on to do Superman and take over the DC universe. This was very a rocket-centric film, which I loved, and we got a backstory and all his friends and how he became the way he became, and Star-Lord going back to his grandfather at the end of the film, and the team just going their separate ways. They saved the universe from the evolutionary, he created a world, Earth-like world, because Earth is perfect. He just created another Earth, but instead of humans, they created animals like humans, like a hybrid. And then the high revolutionary kind of destroyed the world, and Rocket got his revenge and actually scarred his face off, which is pretty cool, pretty funny. And then we got a Dark Guardian special, which was tied to this whole thing. Number 4, I have the Thunderbolts. I never thought I would say this. Like, I never liked the Thunderbolt. Like, I didn't want to watch, like, Thunderbolts. I'm like, why are we getting the Thunderbolts of all these side characters? Like, why? But at the end of it, it was actually pretty good. The action was pretty good. Yelena was actually the star of the film. Bob, the Sentry, was awesome. We went into the Void, and we see what the Void was like and how they were trying to save it. There's a film about mental illness, because they all have mental illness, and how they overcame that was awesome. The CGI was great, and obviously the surprise of the film is they're not called Thunderbolts; they're called the New Avengers. And then now there's a conflict with the actual Avengers, Sam Wilson, and Sam Wilson actually copyrighted the name. It's pretty funny. Anyways, so the next movie we have up is Spider-Man: Far From Home. So this is the first Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man took place outside of New York. We got Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal. That was great. I love the CGI. And just the whole thing was great. Like, a lot of people hated Spider-Man Far From Home, but I really enjoyed it. They went to London, they went to Prague, they went to everywhere, the Elementals, and how Spider-Man just gave up the Edith classes, and it was actually pretty cool. I was very happy with it. So, my number 2 is obviously Deadpool Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, you can't go wrong with it. We got a whole bunch of cameos. We got Cassandra Nova as the villain. They went into the Void, which they spend most of the film, and the music and all that was pretty cool. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. This is what we should have got in X-Men Origins Wolverine. They learned from their mistakes, so they actually had great chemistry, great fights. The CGI was great. The language was a little bit too much to handle, but the blood and the fights and all that was pretty good. The cameos, Chris Evans, all that good stuff was there. Jennifer Gardner. All those characters. Wesley Snipes came back. It was awesome, and I couldn't believe it. It was great. The CG was great for the most part. I didn't like the X-Men scene where Deadpool was going to, when Wolverine was like being hanged on the X cross. I didn't like that. I understand that was an uncanny X-Men, but I don't like that. But yeah, other than that, it was great. I went to the theater 3 times to watch this movie. When I go to a theater to watch it 3 times, you know I love it. All right, and my number 1. Obviously, you know what my number 1 is. If you don't know, then I don't know what to tell you. It is Spider-Man No Way Home. We got the return of Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire as the respective Peter Parkers. We got all the villains coming back, except for New Goblin, Harry Osborn, and Dave DeHaan's Goblin. Thank God. The story made sense. It was multiverse. Spider-Man wanted everybody to forget who he was because of Mysterio exposed his identity. So they made Doctor Strange did a spell that kind of went wrong, and all the villains from every Spider-Man universe was coming here, but only the major ones showed up, like Lizard, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, and all that kind of stuff. And then Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man joining the occasions was just the chef's kiss, and they worked so well together. I hope they do another film together in the multiverse. I know Spider-Man Brand New Day is not a multiverse film, I don't think. I think not, because it's coming up before Avengers Doomsday is going to be a grounded film. I don't know what the story is about that, but yeah, they worked so well together. And until this day, it's 2025, and I still can't believe that movie happened in 2021. Like, we never thought that would ever happen, but how they kept it a secret for so long. But then I purposely think Sony leaked those photos because they want us to be like, hey, Marvel didn't want to leak anything, they want to keep it a surprise. But I'm never going to experience what I experienced in the theater that day. Like, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame were one thing, but Spider-Man No Way Home was a whole other level. People were dressed up as Spider-Man. When Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield showed, they were doing flips, and I've never experienced anything like that. I hope I do experience that for Doomsday and Secret Wars. But anyways, that is my 14 movies post Endgame ranked. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think my ranking is. Do you like my ranking? I want to hear your ranking. How do you rank the films? Make sure you follow, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Be good. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.